So this is a 2006 Yamaha Kodiak 450, and I'm going to be changing the stator on it. It is not charging, and one phase of the stator windings is not putting out enough voltage, and it's also showing it's grounded. So part of that stator is melted on the inside, so I'm going to be changing it. I've already ordered one. Now I'm going to go through what it takes to actually get it out here. So where is it anyway? Well, it is in the engine, and it's on this part of the case here. Comes off this side cover behind the recoil, and in front of the starter you'd have the flywheel there. The starter turns the gear on the flywheel, and there's a one-way bearing in there usually, and a couple of gears, and the stator itself is bolted into this half of the case, so it'll come right off. I'll unplug it from here. This is the wires. I'll take it right off and I'll put it on the bench to change out the stator itself. But unfortunately on these, the water pump is part of that cover, so the coolant has to get drained, and this has to come apart, and also the oil has to get drained, because you can see where the dipstick is here. That ends just under here, so the oil level is up in here somewhere, which is kind of level with the bottom of that case. So I'll just drain and change the oil while I'm at it. So first thing, I have to take out this plastic footwell here to get some clearance for the bottom of the stator cover bolts. And I'll have to unbolt it from the fenders here and here. And then there's like 4 bolts in the bottom. These always twist off if it's rusty enough underneath. So to try to prevent that, what I'm going to do is clean up in the bottom, because it's a thin section that it passes through, and the threaded part sticks out through the bottom, so it gets kind of rusty, and then it'll come out a bit, and the rusty part seizes up in there, and then they twist off because it's only a small bolt. So I'm going to try to avoid that and get this off without a problem. Bolts came out okay. This can come out of here now. There you go. A big stick jammed in there. Rubbing right against the rad hose. That's no good, eh? See that all the time. All kinds of stuff in there. Okay, so now I guess the next thing would be to drain the oil and the antifreeze. So, unfortunately, the way these things are made, I'd like to take the rad cap off, because it's got to come off anyway to refill it. And it's just to allow some air to get in so that it can drain easier. You got to have the rad cap off. Well, guess where that is? It is under all this stuff. So it's under this piece of plastic here, which is 2 little clips. Easy enough, sure, but it's also under the rack. So you got to unbolt the whole rack and take that out of the way, just to get at the rad cap. Somebody had a loaf of bread on here at one time. Oh yeah, this is all one. Get some hooks out of here. Flip it up, breaking it. There you go. Rad cap. Now I can take the drain out, which is this one right here in the middle. It'll be the one that has a copper washer on it. Now since that rad cap's off, this is going to shoot out under pressure pretty much. So I'm going to place this up here so I don't get sprayed with it. And I'm draining it into a clear, clean container, because I can just strain this and make sure there's no dirt in it and just reuse it. Now I'm going to take this hose off, and whatever's in that hose will also come out. Stick that hose up out of the way over there. And so next, take this pipe off. So that's what I'll do here. I'll undo this bolt and that clamp. So I'll need looks like a 5mm there and a Phillips right there. Goes in the coolant, of course. Guess I could leave it like that. That is a 17mm, so I'll get the impact. I'll take that out, and then I have to drain the oil. So, Yamaha, for whatever reason, has this big plug for the oil drain, and the hole in the motor must be like 1.5 inches or something. So when you take that out, there's a spring behind it and a little screen. It flies out and it dumps the oil in like 3 seconds. And it gets into the skid plate, goes all over the place. Inch and 3/8. That's the size of the hole in there. A little stuck on something. So there's a little dowel pin here on the bottom corner. It's stuck on that. Seems to be. So I'm trying to wiggle it off. Oh, there we go. Antifreeze coming out, oil, kinds of stuff. So I'll take this over to the bench and I'll get the old stator out. So the gasket here is all going to have to be cleaned off. It's pretty brittle. The stator is held on by a couple Phillips screws, which might be hard to get out. Probably need the ratchet with a Phillips bit on it. It's pretty hard too. Pretty tight. There is Loctite on these screws usually. This little plate holds the pickup coil on, and it's a little cover for the wire. Because you have to think the flywheel is spinning in this section, so the wire here comes up underneath this bracket and it protects it so it doesn't come into the flywheel at all. That's your pickup coil. This here just pops out, goes through like a rubber grommet. I got a ratchet now. If this doesn't work, I have something else that will work. Nope, don't like that, because with a Phillips headed screw like that, when they're that tight with Loctite on, it's easy to strip them out. So I have something else for that. So I got here an impact driver. Works really well for stuff like this. You just turn it in the direction to loosen. Hit it with a hammer. What's good about it is it drives the bit into the screw head, so it grabs it well enough. It's still tight. Probably put the impact on it actually. There. So I do notice by looking at it, some parts here look pretty black, especially in there. It looks burnt right there. Don't notice anything on this side, but to me that there looks like it's where the damage is. Get some brake cleaner and get that oil off of there. So the stator cover is nice and clean now. I went ahead and took all the old gasket off of it. Now I'm going to get the new stator out here. Take it out of the box. And they're good for from RM Stator. They give you the other half of the plug in case this has melted and you have to repair the wiring harness side of the plug-in. So they give you the other half of both. So that's pretty handy if you ever needed it. So I'm going to show you now what the problem was with this whenever I tested it, how I could tell it was burnt out. You can see that when you touch the ends, it tells you that it's making continuity through the circuit. So this round plug, these 3 wires here, that's the 3 phases of the stator. So each one is a different set of windings inside. So you can touch one here, it makes a loop it's connected. Touch that one, it's connected. Touch that one, it's connected. So what that means is the windings are grounded out to the stator itself. I'm going to test this one, and you can see the difference. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. So wire comes at the bottom. I have to find where the holes line up. It should be right about there. These wires got to go along the back to make sure they're tucked in there good enough. It's going to go in somewhere like that. Pickup coil comes up there. So I want to put some Loctite on this though. So I'm going to pull that out for now. I'll put a drop in each thread. A lot came out there, more than I wanted it to. Put this back in. Just use this. Oh. That looks pretty good. Same thing, I want to put just a drop of Loctite on that. Yeah. Should be good. Double check everything's tight here. That was good. So that's it. So I got some new sealant on this, and I'm gonna put this thing back on. See if it works. Alright, now I'll just I'm going to tighten that up before I forget. Then I'll put oil in it. I'll plug this in, and then I'll start it up and see if it actually is charging. So I got it outside here, and it is charging, but it's charging a little bit too well. So look at our battery voltage here is 12.30. I'm going to start it up. Just watch how high it goes here. Just a little bit off idle, it's up to 17 volts. So regulator's done. That should be around 14.5 or so. Not too much more than that. So regulator's done also. So I've ordered one. It took over the weekend to come. I mean, should have been here last week, but is what it is. I got it here now. It's also from RM Stator. And it also comes with the other half of the plug here. So I'm going to go ahead and install that, and we'll see what kind of voltage we get after I change it. And it's down in here at the back of the bike on the left side, but I've taken the right wheel off because the bolts, I can get at them from here, and easier to get at them from this direction than working the opposite way. Got a long T-handle here, so I'm going to get in, just spin them out from here. There's one. There's the other. Oh, can't get it off. The plug in there. It's they're bad for getting sand in the plug in, and then they just jam right on there. So I have to get a screwdriver and kind of pry the plug in out. There. I'm gonna put some dielectric grease inside the plug in too while I'm at it. It's not gonna hurt nothing. There. So we'll see what we get. Battery voltage went back down a little bit, 12.26. I'll start it up. And it's holding at 14.3 something. So there you go, that is fixed. Put this wheel back on. I'll test drive it a bit, but for now it seems like it's going to be just fine.